So second time going live. Very excited. So I haven't posted a video in 2 weeks and I feel like I'm cheating. um, because I mean, I've been really, really busy and I hate saying the word busy because busy, uh, I feel like productive is a way better word. First of all, I want to make sure that you guys know that beyondfilmschool.com is brand spanking new, redesigned. Super happy about it. Love my design. Very excited because I mean, my my last website, the way it looked was really kind of janky and I didn't like it. So if you could go to beyondfilmschool.com and just check out my new design and be like, oh my God, Amber, I'm so impressed. Other than that, what's been happening with Beyond Film School, I just finished my set PA class, my in-person course. I had to do it a little bit differently. Oh, hey, Kit. I had to do it a little bit differently because I couldn't use my normal rental space. And what I did was I split it into two. So I did 2 Sundays in a row, 3.5 hours per session. And I think it worked out really well because it was a chance for like the trainees to kind of, let the information that I gave them on the first day, which the first day was a lot of, it was like film set terms, a lot of like thick information. So they had a chance to like absorb all the information. And then we came back the next Sunday and it was like, hey, you remember when I talked about that? They're like, yes. It was like, it was able for them. It was an easier way for them to just absorb all the information. Now, I have to say that these trainees that I had 5 people in this class. I had 3 people drop out because they couldn't get to New York State. They just couldn't, they didn't want to be in New York City, to be quite honest with you. And I mean, New York City is not like a battleground or anything like that. It's just a little bit different. The vibe's totally different. And so some people are, kind of not fearful or scared of, the protesting or all the things that were going on. But either way, 3 people dropped out. So I almost had a full class, but I had 5 people that came to my class. And let me tell you, these trainees, shout out to any of my trainees who might be watching this, they were spectacular. They were like, I felt like they didn't really need me. They were really great on the walkie. They did great on the lockup demonstrations that I did. And I want to give a shout out to one of my trainees this past 2 weekends, Navar. Now, Navar, I'm just going to blow up his spotlight hardcore, and I hope he watches this. But the first week, he was late, and I was like, yo, you cannot be late. If you were on set, you would be fired right now. So, but then the next week, he was early, and we sat down and chatted, and he wanted to make sure he was not late this time. But I found out that he wanted to be an AD, and I cannot tell you enough how I love training PAs, new people to be PAs who want to be ADs in the film industry. It's like a special place in my heart. I'm like, you want to do what I do? And it's like, I don't mind if you want to be a producer, director, whatever your goals are. I'm happy to train you, but like, there's always a special place in my heart for people who want to be ADs. And he asked me, he goes, Amber, what do you think about this book? And he pulls out this book. Yes, I have a prop, guys. He pulls out this book and I was like, my face just lit up and I was like, what? Yes, of course I have this book. Now, this book, okay, it's called Running the Show. This is just my this is the way this is my bookmark, I guess, my little lace bookmark, but this was the first edition. It's called Running the Show. It's from Liz Gill and it's basically an assistant director Bible. And when I was first starting out, this book, I swear to God, it was like, it just brings you into the world. It spells everything out for you. If you're trying to be an AD, maybe you're trying to start out in the indie world and you don't know where to start. And it's like, how do I run a set? What do I do? What are the documents I need? How do I make a schedule? All these things. And I couldn't believe he pulled out this book. I would put a picture on my Instagram if you want to check it out. But it's just like, I was so happy he pulled out this book. And it didn't even register to me that when he showed me the book the first time that he wanted to be an AD. I'm like, oh, maybe he's just trying to I don't know, accumulate all the information he can. But he wanted to be an AD. And I was like, dude, he had the same moment as me where he was like, I saw a first AD on set one time and I was like, I want to be that guy. And that's exactly what happened to me when I was on one of my first big sets and I was the second AC on this job. And I saw a first AD in action and I was like, oh my God, I want to be that guy. I want to be running the set. I want to be calling the shots. And I was sold ever since. I switched from the camera department and went right into the AD department, and I've been doing it ever since. So it's just really, really great to have someone in my PA class that wanted to be an AD. It was just like, it's just great to have like, oh yes, we get each other. It's gonna be great. So the other thing I've been working on, the thing I wanted to add about the PA class is that is my second. I only do 2 a year. I do one in the spring and then one in the summer, and that's it. I don't usually do one for the fall and for the winter, only because I'm working usually. But I mean, if the demand is there, I'll do another class that's in person. But if you are not in New York City, in New Jersey, or in the area that I hold the PA class, I am now about to launch my online PA course. Now, that's why I haven't posted any videos. I haven't posted anything because I told myself, I was like, you cannot do any other creative work. You cannot do anything else, any side projects, anything else, until you get your PA class, online class, information on my website and ready to go. I wasn't allowing myself to do anything else. So I took a week last week, Monday through Friday, or the week before that, actually, I put in all information. And then last week was like a lot of fine tuning and polishing. But I took that week and I was like, all you're going to do day and night is you're going to put this information, you're going to build your online course. And I did that. So I am very, very happy that all of it's done. There are videos, there's photos, there's so much information. Now, my PA class is about 8 hours long, 7.5 if you take out the breaks, and sometimes we go over in time. So it depends like how many questions are asked throughout the course. So with this, I think the online course might take you about 6.5 hours, and that's pretty good. And you can always go back to the information if you want. So all of it will be there for a full year for anyone who pays for the course. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to launch it tomorrow. But my beta testers, I have 3 beta testers that are taking the course. So I'm waiting to get feedback from them. And then I'm going to launch it fully. It'll be out there for everybody. And if you can't make it to New York City, or you can't make it to like a PA training in person, I think this is like the next best thing. And I'm so glad I finally got it done, because I've just been sitting on this, my applications and my website and whatever, all of this stuff I was just sitting on. I'm like, this is a good opportunity for you to get the information out there. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help people get information out there, do as much as I can to help everyone trying to get into the film industry. It's like, I'm just trying to give everyone a chance. I'm trying to help people. So looking through film, the editing film stuff. Okay, so the editing videos I have promised you guys for like the past 3 weeks. All of the interviews of the editors are done, and now I have to go through all that footage, and I have to pretty much be an assistant editor, and I have to categorize, get the timing marks of all of the interviews I did, and I'm going to be cranking those out week by week and getting them out to you guys. And there is another video on deck, the script supervisor, that has been requested. It will be made for you. So if you want to learn about the script supervisor, that will be something that will be coming up. Maybe I could probably do that, first before I jump into the editing stuff, because, hey, Liz J, I can, because the script supervisor is like a one-man army. They're a one-person department, and I can get that video out of the way. I hate saying out of the way, but it's one video. There's not really multiple videos I could do on the script supervisor. But let's see, and then I could jump into the editing stuff. And after the editing stuff, I don't really have anything in mind, except for I have, let's see, tomorrow and the next day, I have the electric department. I have interviews for that. I have a couple of my friends. I'm so happy to be talking to them, interviewing them about the electric department. And some, like these 2 guys I started with, are some of my favorites. And I don't know, I think they're just really good, like good talkers, and they're just interesting people. And I think they'll make really good interviews. And I'm trying to get one more interview. I haven't reached out to her yet, but I am excited because I did a lot of interviews with editors. I did like 8 interviews. I have one more to do that I wasn't able to get to yet, but only because I feel like I understand the electrical department way more than I do post-production. And I feel like post-production is just a beast unto itself. So that's why I did way more interviews for that. So I have the electrical department coming up. After that, I have no interest in doing any other department. I'm just kidding. If you guys want to learn more about a certain department, let me know, and then I could start setting up interviews for that department so I can get the information to you guys if you want to know about the props department, set dressing, maybe. I mean, some of those are like really straightforward and they are really easy to understand what they do. So, I mean, maybe you want to talk to some grips, but that might be, I don't know. The grips are a certain type of people and they're kind of funny. So I don't know if they would even entertain a Zoom interview. So that is what is going to be coming up after the editor interviews. It might be like a couple months into it, but let's see. So New York has gotten into production and it's mostly indie. None of my union friends have said they have work yet. So to give you guys like an update on the coronavirus in New York City, a lot of my friends have said they've been on set, they've had to sign waivers, they, felt safe, everyone was socially distancing. Even a couple actor friends of mine said that they, felt like people were caring about the socially distancing and they are caring about the safety of a film set, which I think is amazing because a lot of people are worried that the indie scene just might not be safe and they might not implement certain procedures for the coronavirus, the spread of it. And I don't know. I think safety is always a big thing on set regardless. And this is like an added thing that they have to take care of. So I think that this is great hearing like good feedback from people who have been on set, like a couple of day shoots, like some people were making a couple of music videos. There are some short doc projects that some people were working on, a couple short films that people were making. So indie world wise, production is starting, to come back slowly. And the good thing about, oh my goodness, the trainees, like some of them are already hopping on productions and I'm like so happy for them. Navarro's going to Virginia to do a feature film, and I'm really jealous of him. I think that's really, really great that, indie production is happening. And, I haven't heard anything union-wise. The union world, I haven't heard anything about. So that's like, ugh. So I'm pretty much keeping busy with Beyond Film School, trying to build it up. So share Beyond Film School, share my videos. I'm trying to grow as much as possible. They say if you don't ask, then no one can really like give you what you need or something like, I don't know. So Liz J says, here in Cleveland, the indie community has continued filming, but we've implemented COVID safety procedures. That's good. I'm really, really glad. How much shooting happens in Cleveland? I'm always curious. I know it's like I think the biggest city in Ohio. I'm not sure. I didn't know that the film community was like booming in Cleveland. That's pretty great. But I'm glad that, even they're following procedures. And I know some folks from Buffalo as well, that they are following procedures and everyone's excited about the new studio that's going to be happening in Buffalo. So all this is really, really good news. And I don't want, people are being negative. So, F people who are trying to be negative. Has anyone felt like they've kind of not been productive during this time, or like the creatives out there, maybe they feel like they have a block happening, like if they're, they can't express themselves creatively? Because let me tell you, I am reading this book and they have exercises in it. It's called The Artist's Way. And it's funny because I was watching a video about this girl who was like, oh, I hate what I do on YouTube. And then one of the comments was like, oh, you should read The Artist's Way. And I was like, oh, really? She's having creative block and this is a book that'll help you. And I'm reading The Artist's Way and it's like, telling you, I've had like some really, really good, clear, open, I can find solutions. Like it was probably the reason why I was like, you got to sit down, you got to do your online course, get this done. And I feel like if you definitely have a mental block or like a creative block, I think that definitely will help you. Oh, it's right here actually. So it's like how many? And I show you these books because like, I'm not making money off these things. They're just helping me out. So like, I feel like they can just help you out. How many? It's like, I think a 12-week workshop and you do exercises in it. And I'm trying to find the last week. Yeah, 12 weeks. And I'm such a nerd where I label my weeks so I can like go back. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but I'm like super nerdy when it comes to stationery because I love pens and I love like No, I don't think anyone knows it about me, but I love a really good pen. But yeah, the artist way, totally clear in my mind. Seriously, like, I don't know. This is crazy types. It's like crazy talk, but seriously. Um, so as far as filming, I haven't gotten any work yet. So I'm pretty much making the best of my time, and I'm trying not to worry about the whole stimulus package thing. I don't know if anyone else is unemployed right now and living off unemployment, but oh my goodness. Arthur Lembo, I finally feel like I can take the time to be creative right now. Yeah, exactly, right? But I feel like some of that stuff can only be ideas right now while I can't meet with people. Here is the thing. Why do you feel like you need to actually meet a person face to face? Do you know what I mean? I try to, do Zoom meetings. I try to this is even a way for us to communicate. And I feel like if it's I don't know, the two friends I'm going to be talking to in the electrical department, I haven't talked to them in forever, and I used to see them on set, and I think it's just going to be refreshing to actually, talk to them in an interview style. It's like, because that's an idea that I had, and I was like, well, why don't I just hit up my friends, people who I like talking to, and people I can collaborate with. And I think you never know if the worst thing that can happen if you want to put yourself out there, if you want to talk to somebody who might be bigger than you or more famous than you or whatever, you'll be surprised at how much time that they have on their hands. So, that's what I did. I was like, the worst thing that my friends can say, or people who I'm trying to do these interviews with, and like the editors that I interviewed, they were all strangers. So they all were like, yeah, sure, I'll do this interview with you. I'll tell you everything all about the editing department, and I'll give you all this information. And it was like, holy crap. Dude, the art, yeah, seriously, if you have art, I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. And try not to take it too, just take it for what it is. Just follow what this woman says, because seriously, it's just the way to go. But back to Arthur, it's just like, you have to ask and just hope for the best. And hopefully someone's going to connect with you, talk to you, do an interview. I thought that too when this whole thing first started. I have so many different ideas. I have this, I have that, and they were only just ideas. But then I just was like, I got to start doing some stuff. I got to start making these videos. I got to start doing the best I can and doing I don't like when something's in limbo. So I totally feel that frustration. And meeting people, I guess it does. It's like when I was talking to my trainees about networking. Right now it's hard to network, but workshops, roundtables, Zoom meetings when we're talking about film production, all that, even the PA course itself, I told them, U5, this is networking. You guys should just get to know each other. I think my dog's trying to bust in. My dog can't get in. It's funny. So Liz J, I'm trying to get back into filming to expand my portfolio. I graduated 2 years ago, and I'm having a hard time finding a position I want. There's a lot of indie filming. Yes, but it's hard to get a studio position. Yes. So, and I keep going back to my trainees because it's reminded me of all the stuff that I actually said to them in class. And one of the trainees, one of his objective was, to obtain a position within a company on a non-freelance basis. And I told him, I was like, here's the thing, is that I had that on my resume when I first started out too, when I first got out of college, because I wanted to be part of a production company. Going through my experience and going through the film industry, I found out very quickly that you're pretty much always freelance. And for example, my last show, I worked on an NBC show and I was on payroll, but I was still freelance. And when I do all the indie stuff, yeah, that's freelance. But even when I work for the big companies, the big networks, I'm still freelance, which is it's kind of weird, but you're still freelance. You're still there's no ownership over you, and so yeah, getting a position in a studio or an in-house position is actually very hard unless you're starting your own production company. And not to say you should start your own production company, but you might want to look down that avenue. And really, what's stopping you? You know what I mean? Hey, Christian, he's back. Christian's back. I have a commission next week. No news on the union jobs yet, except for one that started work on Unfold. Oh, really? Commercial. I've never worked on commercials. That's all I have to say. No, but commercials are great. I know that's like, oh wait, I did work on a commercial. I've done 3 commercials. Oh my God, I completely forgot what I worked on. But yeah, I did some crazy, like some cable commercial once. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I'm glad that it hasn't, I'm not glad, but I'm like, maybe it's commiseration where I'm saying I'm glad you're in the same situation when there's like indie work and there's not union work, so I'm not missing out, but I don't really mean that. I'm glad that you guys all have work. I have been doing my best to learn new editing software, so I'm really excited to hear from your editors. Editing is something I can feel like I can come back to. That's the thing, and I guess this is a spoiler alert for the editor video, is when I asked them all about what was work like now during the pandemic, they all were like, it's pretty steady. They were getting in some cases, they were getting more work than before the pandemic, funny enough. And a lot of them were saying that some companies, even though they don't have new content, they were finally getting to projects that were on the back burner. Like every company has that, where they have like a few things they just have to just push to the side, and it's like they build up and build up. So a lot of companies are actually getting to, the stuff that's been building up. So editors have been getting a lot of work, and it's pretty much been a steady pace for them. It's an animation editors. I spoke to I thought she was so cool. She was a mom. It was funny because she's a woman editor. She works in the union, and she was working on an animated series. And it's like her kids were around. She's a mom, and it's like a real life situation where she's like, I'm so sorry, my kids, this and that. And I'm like, dude, this is like some real stuff where you are working, like you're a working mom. And I love the fact that it was like a real life person. It was great. But she works in animation, and animation is one area where you're going to get a lot of work too as an editor. Oh my God, there's too many comments. Oh my goodness. And learn more about, I work as a videographer who does all elements of production, small scale, so I'm looking for a more specific path. I get that. I totally feel that. Everyone's going to go through that, because I went through that same thing of like, where do I want to go exactly? You know what I mean? I just like, where? So, I feel like that's almost like a soul searching. You just have to, figure out what you like and what you don't like. And when I first got out of college, I knew how to edit. I knew how to shoot. I knew how to produce. I could write. I did all the things, but then I was like, no. I honed in on being an AD. I honed on into logistics. So it definitely takes some time. It's just like those growing pains. You know what I mean? And with COVID, editing seems like a better option to pursue right now, for sure. We did that one commercial. Wait, Kit, what commercial are you talking about? What commercial did we do? Oh, for Christ. What commercial was this? Okay, you have to remind me of what commercial that was, because now I don't remember what commercial we worked on. I have no idea. I worked on the one with Scott, and we did 2 of the. Oh no, yes, the first one, Kit, you were with me. That's right. And this is when I tortured you with the wardrobe stuff the first time. One of my friends went from off speed to camera just by talking. Yo, exactly. Yo, Christian is so right. And this is what I tell all my trainees. I tell them, if you're trying to get in with a department, if you're trying to get into the office, if you're trying to, get in with props, get in with the ADs, you have to talk to that department. That is like the number one way to get out of being a PA. Is talk to the department that you want to get into and make friends with those people, because when you make friends with them, they're going to want to do you favors and say, you know what, we need all these electricians. We need additional electricians. Why don't you come on for this day? Or we need additional grips. We have a big day. We don't have anyone else from the hall or the union. So why don't you come on for that day? Like, I was offered to be an electric one day, and I was like, I'm not trying to be an electrician, but I'm glad that you guys like me and you feel like I could actually help your department, which is awesome. But talk to the people of the department you want to be a part of. Very simple. It's like the number one way, folks. Like, if you take anything from this live stream, it's that. Good to hear, because animation, yeah, that's really great. Man, animation is like, that is like a whole nother beast I just don't even know anything about as far as like animating, but editing animation, it's like, that just seems so cool to me. Yeah. For the freaking yeah, so yeah, I totally remember what we were talking about. It was like we were in that room, and it was like for a basement. The commercial was for this tech company, and they had to like, they made it easier for you to set up your technology, and that was the whole thing. And the concept of the commercial was really funny because they were like in a support group, and they showed these different scenarios of like these people going through these traumatic things about trying to set up their TVs or their projectors or something. I remember now, Kit. I totally remember now. Oh my goodness. So if you guys have any more questions before I go, it's only been 25 minutes. I feel like this is great. But that was a fun set, Kit. That was such a fun set. So script supervisor, video coming, editing, interviews coming. Oh, so I have a Patreon, and I didn't mention this last time. Maybe I didn't create it last time. So since I started doing the exercises from the book of The Artist's Way, I have like created so many different income streams that I should have done a long time ago, and I don't really know what was stopping me from doing that. One of them is Patreon, and all the interviews for the editors are going to be in full on my Patreon, and anything that's on YouTube is going to be like combined and cut up into certain subjects. So if you find that you're like, dude, I like this editor that she's talking to, that full interview will be on my Patreon. So I gotta like plug the Patreon because like I just started. I need some followers. So like you guys gotta help me out to do this. There's different scales. I think it's 5, 10, and 50, which 50 is just like, Jesus, this is like way too much. I think I get really, when it comes to money and asking for money or being a business person, I'm like a really bad business person. And I talked about this with my trainees about how I don't really call myself an entrepreneur because I feel like it's super cliche, but like, honestly, I am running a business. So like, I shouldn't be calling myself that. I like being a business owner, but I mean, I'm not like, this isn't big enough for me to be like living off of yet. So it's all like in the slow build process. Oh my goodness. So I hope everyone stays positive out there, stay productive, do the best you can with, if you guys can start, I mean, honestly, I feel like I have to tell people this because if you feel like you are in a rut and you're like, what do? I can't get on a film set. Go on Facebook, look up film groups on Facebook, start talking to certain people like in groups being like, hey, I'm looking to do interviews. I just want more information on XYZ. I was so scared to do that in this editing group. And then I was like, what the hell am I like, because I'm hella introverted. I'm really, really introverted. People don't believe that because I'm on YouTube and because I do these videos. And when people are on set with me, they don't believe it either. They're just like, oh, you're not introverted at all. But it's like, you don't know me. You don't know my personal life. But I got really like nervous about like, making a post in this group and asking for people for their time to tell me what they do for a living. And I was like, there's no reason to be scared about this. Just go out, put yourself out there, ask questions, talk to people that you don't know, because you never know what comes of it. And then a lot of them were like, oh, I'd love to collab with you on something later, and you should talk to this person, and this person's a really great AD, and she helps people, about getting into DGA. It's like so many things happen from these interviews that I just wasn't even expecting. It's just like, I just wanted information for, and then I had to go out and I said, hey, since you're interested, this is the deal. I'm going to be recording these interviews. It's for my YouTube channel and for my Patreon. So it was like asking them to be okay with recording the interview was the next step of anxiety for me. So like putting yourself out there is one. The next thing is like, hey, is it okay that I record the interview? And then after that, it's like, oh, and then you actually do the interview. Like when I'm talking to people, doing the interview is the easy part for me. Setting up the interview is the hard part for me because once I know that they've said yes, then it's like, it's just all easy from there. So I'm just try to put yourself out there. Honestly, that's really like, if you're a writer, start writing something down and then take your pages, go into a screenwriters group on Facebook and say, hey, does anyone want to like exchange pages? I'll look at yours, you'll look at mine. We'll do a fellow critique, blah, 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 I tell people that work isn't play personally. You got to wear the hats. You need to. Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly. I put on the AD role. It's like and this is how I love explaining it, is that when I am, first of all, let me just back up for a second. When I have a first AD gig, I get really nervous. I try to get to know people during prep and through like, pre-production. And I try to make sure I'm not offending anybody, make sure I'm flexible and nice and all this stuff, and do the best thing I can as an AD for the producers. And then it gets to, okay, we are shooting tomorrow. The night before, putting the call sheet out is my next thing. Am I going to forget somebody on the contact list? Am I going to make a typo or make a mistake on the call sheet? And then it's like, oh, maybe I forgot this detail. So all of this I'm always nervous about going up to production. And then the next anxiety, or I hate saying anxiety, but my nerves start coming in that morning before people start arriving to set. Because then I'm like, okay, have I forgotten how to run a set? Have I forgotten how this goes? What if the actors don't like me? What if me and the director don't get along today? What if the DP is an asshole? Which is a complete, like, when you think about it, I always work with the director and I always work with the DP as a first AD. And if those two folks are not gelling with me, it's just going to be a really hard project. But I hope that every project I'm always like, if I gel with the director and DP, it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. And I get so nervous. And then when I'm like, okay, crew gear is going here, we're going to do rehearsal, got to get these people through hair and makeup, all of the tasks just like run me over and I just have to do it. And I'm just thrown into it and I forget about being nervous. And I remember being asked one time on one of the feature films, and he was like, what are you thinking about? Like, how do you do what you do? Like, what is going through your head right now? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm a ball of anxiety all day long. And I hate saying that, but it's like, I'm thinking about what's happening now, what's happening in the next hour. When are we going to get done with the scene? How long is the setup going to take? Is this actor out of hair and makeup? Where is the director? I need a DP. I need my PA for this. Is the call sheet done? I need to make sides. There's like 15 things I'm thinking about all at the same time as a first AD. Oh, okay. Christian says I'm using a lot of my free time to take courses offered by. What kind of courses does IATSE offer? I know they have the certifications that you have to take. I don't know what other, I should look that up. Actually, I feel like I want to look that up right now. I'm wondering what kind of courses they offer. Like, what kind of courses have you been taking, Christian? I'm curious now. Inquiring minds. Like, give me some time. Let me get some water. I feel like going live on YouTube is so much easier than actually producing a video. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go live today and tell people what's going on. Because then I don't have to talk about what's going on in my videos. And I can just cut all that out. And you guys know what's going on with Beyond Film School. Because, like, the people who are going to come to my videos, like, may not be subscribers. But when I go live, the subscribers know who I am already. So it's, like, a lot easier to go live and talk about what's going on with Beyond Film School. It's a whole lot of stuff going on. I guess, I mean, what's happening in Canada? If you're in Canada, but Christian, he's in the U.S. He's in New Mexico, so he's talking about the U.S. IATSE. But if you're Anna Kay, if you're from Canada, what's going on in Canada? I'm very curious now. What's happening in Canada? I know that I believe. Oh my goodness, I feel like I knew someone told me something about Vancouver, and then I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Liz J, anyone want to learn anything new? Linda offers free courses with a library card. That is awesome. And it's funny because I have a library card from the township that I live in, and they told me that it was expiring. And I was like, oh, I'm not even going to worry about my library card. So it expired. So I have to like reapply for it. But yeah, Linda is a good site. And I remember when I worked for this PR company, they wanted me to learn After Effects. And I did not want to learn After Effects, but they gave me their Linda account to learn After Effects. And I remember just being like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be an animator. I don't want to work in After Effects at all. Linda taught me that I don't want to work in certain software. Oh, really? This is all great. Like, I didn't even know all this stuff. That offers online courses via LinkedIn. I had no idea. I don't really use my LinkedIn at all. It's my profile that I have up. I don't use it at all. I know some people contact me through LinkedIn, but I don't really use it for anything, hardly. This tells me that I need to use my LinkedIn a little bit more. Oh my goodness. So, I wanted to see maybe, sorry, I have like my bullet points and my notes and stuff. So I want to look up this IATSE coursework, actually. I think that's great that they're offering courses right now. I think that's amazing. Okay, so let's see. No fee courses. Holy shit. You can go IATSEtrainingtrust.org, and all the courses are here. There's OSHA, which is all great stuff as far as like safety on set. A lot of this is safety, like, let's see, safety first, online courses, online safety for NPTV workers, LinkedIn learning subscription. This is pretty cool. I definitely encourage you guys to go. Let's see, I'm gonna put this in the chat for y'alls. Anytime there's free stuff. Oh, I think someone has asked me about, they want to learn about how to be a director. And I was like, dude, if you use Masterclass right now, it is really cheap. Using Masterclass and listening to the directors in Masterclass is like priceless if you're trying to learn like how, a director's brain works. It's utterly amazing. Like, I feel like people don't say enough about Masterclass, to be honest with you. Right now, it's like $15 a month. But you have to do a yearly subscription, which is like, that's kind of a bummer. I know it was like really, really low price like a little while ago. But here's the thing, guys, and I don't want to say this, but you can get the master classes on a torrent. Not to say hey, but let's see. Grady G. Sims, what is a great way to get into independent filmmaking? So, indie filmmaking right now is probably the only thing you're going to get work in, which is pretty cool because you're looking for that type of work. But I would suggest, first of all, asking I don't know where, Grady G. Sims, where are you from? So I can get an idea of what part of the country or world you're in, so I can kind of tailor my answer to that. But basically is you want to research your city filmmaking, and then there's usually like a film commission. And through the film commission, you can find out what's shooting in your area, or sometimes they have jobs there. Sometimes they have networking opportunities. And on top of that, if they don't have anything, everything's probably going to be virtual anyways right now. So anything you find online is going to be like a Zoom meeting, which is great. So I would say Google search the shit out of filmmaking in your area, okay? And another thing is Facebook. And I cannot stress Facebook enough. I know some people are not trying to be on Facebook, but like honestly, I have a Facebook for like the Amber Living vlog, and like when I want to share something with my family or something. Like, I'm not trying to like share like political statements and read everyone's bullshit on policy and politics right now, but have a Facebook, because the Facebook groups are really, really good for getting indie work. Let's see, NYC filmmakers, whatever city you're in, just go film group or your city film, and then it'll do a search on Facebook, and you're going to find all these groups that you can tap into, and they have job postings. They might need PAs. They might need people who are trying to, they need an art director. They need production designers. Like, there's so many things that people are looking for in the indie world that they're going to have these jobs on those Facebook groups. Let's see. Yeah, So Liz J is on top of this group. This is great. Join Facebook groups, talk to people in your community. Exactly. Yeah, rigging. Let's see, I think at the moment, problem eliminator. I think at the moment it's worth getting some writing done. True story. If you're trying to be a writer, seriously, this is the time to do it. I'm trying to develop script ideas with few characters for ease of production due to COVID. I think that Oh, Mansfield, Ohio. So I don't know. I want to look where actually Mansfield, Ohio is. Sorry, I don't know exactly where that is in Ohio. Excuse me while I look this up. So you're like, I mean, there's stuff shooting in Cleveland. I don't know if you were into like driving. Oh, I mean, you're probably like you're right near Columbus and you're right near Cleveland, which is like, but you're also so because when I lived in Buffalo, I would be like a hop, skip, to jump away from Cleveland, and sometimes I'd work in Canada. So if you're willing to drive to a bigger city where there might be more things happening indie wise, I would encourage you to do that. Now, here's the thing that some people forget about is Craigslist actually still has gigs on their site, but I will warn you about like the spam and like the scanning bullshit, like the scamming bullshit, where it's like they ask you for anyone who asks you for your physical address and it's like, oh, deposit this check. Don't do it. It's a scam, just so you guys know. Just be aware. And that happens like on all kinds of sites. Like on NYC Film Crew, there was a post and it ended up being like hella scammy. It was like, what? Like they asked, oh, a PA, you're gonna get $550 a day for being a PA. That's when you know it's a scam. Sorry, guys. Yeah, and I definitely am on board with you, problem eliminator, because I've thought about writing myself, but I have so many other projects that I want to get to first that writing's not my priority. But like, this is a really good time to just like take a step back, take a breather, and just let it flow. Just let it flow out. A torrent. Yeah, dude, I'm sorry. I shouldn't talk about torrents, but honestly, I think I mean a couple weeks ago, Werner Herzog, right? I'm totally probably saying his name wrong. But we watched his masterclass and it was great. Oh, you're in the UK, not great for independent. Really? Wait a minute. We got to talk about this for a second. Problem eliminator. You're saying in the UK is not great for independent filmmaking. Why is this? This is a loop now. I'm like, whoa, because I want to know more about this, because I would figure that the UK would be like a huge place for indie work too. I need answers. I need answers about the UK, because I don't have. I mean, the one person that I know that she used to be a script supervisor and she worked on a lot of indie stuff, but then she came out hating working in the industry, which probably speaks to the fact that maybe it's just not great for independent filmmaking. Now I need to know more about this. I need to know more, because now I'm curious. I need to talk to more people about the independent world in the UK, because I thought it was honestly, I thought it was flourishing, honestly. It's totally different seen to the main US filmmaking hubs. Oh my goodness. You need to email me and tell me all about this, or we can hop on a Zoom and talk about it, because I want to know all about this now. So if you can email me at beyondfilmschool@gmail, I'm curious to find out now, because I just assumed in my I just assumed that filmmaking is the same kind of system all over the world, or guerrilla making. I don't think I have actually. Let me look this up. I don't think I have the Guerrilla Filmmaking Handbook. Now I need to add this to my reading list. Let's see. I have not read this book, and it's only like $6. It's $6. $6 on Thrift Books. The Guerrilla Filmmakers Handbook. Let's see. Oh my goodness! Wait. Okay, the best-selling low budget. I'm reading the book overview, guys. Filmmakers Bible in the UK has now, at long last, been totally revamped for the American market. Well, that's not going to help me. They're trying to sell me more American stuff, man. Okay, wait a minute. I need to get the UK version, because they're trying to sell me the American version. Oh man. Yeah, they're trying to sell me the American version, man. Oh, this is horrible. This is horrible. I'm definitely going to get that book now. I want to know more about it. What is the name of the site? What's for which site? Which site? Which are you talking about? Wesley Taylor. Let's see. Oh man. Well, I want the UK edition. Damn it. Let's see. Yeah, I want to know about the now. Okay, I'm getting this book. Thank you, Problem Eliminator. I'm going to get this book now because now I want to know all about it. Yes. This is why I do these things, because I need more ideas, and this is great. Great. Okay, I think I'm at 45 minutes, guys. This is crazy. So I encourage you, again, go to my website. It's brand spanking new. It's very, very pretty. I would love to know what you guys think, because honestly, are there unique ways to learning script writing and directing from are there unique ways to learn script writing and directing from home? Here's the thing about directing. Now, my advice, if you don't want to watch Masterclass, which I encourage you, if you're trying to learn about directing, watch or subscribe or whatever, torrent, whatever the hell you want to do to get into Masterclass. Watch the, I think that's the UK edition. Yeah, okay, sorry. I'm getting like so distracted by the chat. But watch the Masterclasses from the directors. They basically they all have like at least one of them. Like all of them have a masterclass, like a version or something. And there's like always like 15 chapters. There's so much you can learn from these people. There are different books that you can buy. If you admire a certain director, buy their book, because most likely they all have a book about directing. I mean, I love Tim Burton. People give me so much shit for liking Tim Burton and his style, but I read his book and I was like, oh my God. And like they go through their thoughts about how they came about this project and why they directed and why they worked with this actor all the time. So buy a director's book, whatever your favorite director you have, they probably have a book. So I would recommend reading a book about directing from your favorite director. So Masterclass, reading books. The third thing I'm going to tell you to do is look into the Criterion Collection. Now, it's these movies that are in the Criterion Collection are part of that collection for a reason. They're like really amazing movies. If you watch movies and you pay attention to certain decisions that are made, you will start to understand why they are doing the thing they are doing in the movie. So watching older movies, not just like something that was made last year. Like I'm talking like certain things like in the 30s, watch something from every decade and then see the differences and see the growth. And like Stanley Kubrick is another one. Like watching his films now, you'll see all the influences on newer movies now. So like watching old movies is another way to learn about directing. Another thing I would encourage you to do, if I believe there are probably some people who are doing like acting Zoom lessons or workshops virtually. If you're trying to be a director, if you get connected, thank you, Grady G. Sims. Tim Burton does rule. Thank you very much. If you are trying to be a director, learning how to act. Now, you don't have to be an actor, but learning how actors and how they like tackle their craft and how they get in character. If you take an acting class, then that allows you to get into the actor's mind, and that'll help you be a better director as far as performance. Because here's the thing is that as a director, you have to get the best performance out of your actors. You like part of directing is like, yes, I like this composition. I like this framing. I like that plant that needs to be there. I like this prop, and yes or no to that outfit, and yes or no to that and the other. But you have to be able to bring out the performance of the actor. You have to bring out the emotion. You have to bring out the performance of your, people that are going to be on the screen representing your vision. So if you can get inside the actor's mind by taking an acting class or reading certain books on acting, I encourage you to do that as well, because it's only going to make you a better director. Because if you can't get the performance out of your actor, then that's why there are people who are known as shitty directors, because they can't get the good acting out of their actors. Okay. Let's see. I'm missing a few comments here. Look up a few free screenwriting. Yeah. So Kit, if you guys don't know this, Kit is like, I think graduated or going to graduate from like creative screenwriting. She's getting her MFA in creative writing, and she's like working in the industry now, I believe. Like the last time we chatted, she was like going to be starting something like really big, and I'm really proud of her. Oh my goodness, I love her. And she's saying look up free screenwriting workshops online. And the fact that she's telling you that, and she's a writer, that means there are free screenwriting workshops online. So I'm telling you, if you guys have any, like, if you even don't even think it exists, then you just go on Google, free something workshop, and I'm pretty sure it's going to pop up somewhere for you. Like, use Google to the full extent that you can. Let's see, and just try to start right. Yeah, I believe, okay, here's the thing, is that if you start small, write a 3-page script, and then write a 10-page script, and then write a half hour, and then write a feature, like small steps. And then there are also like some cool books out there that have like writing prompts for you, and they give you like, okay, you're going to make sure that the color red is somewhere in the story, or the character is going to be a physician at a rural hospital in Idaho. You know what I mean? They give you writing prompts so you can actually, like, you're not in a box, but you're given a little bit of structure, and then you can work with that. So you're not just like lost in the sauce of your own thoughts. DVD commentary tracks goal. Exactly. Problem eliminated. Seriously, I feel like we should do a show, probably. Because he has such good ideas. He or she has such good ideas. I have no idea if you're a male or female. It doesn't really matter. But DVD commentary, director's cuts, or like, and you can torrent that as well. You can get that online somewhere, or like on Plex or whatever. If you watch the commentary from directors of their movies, they're telling you what's going on. They're telling you why they chose to do what they do. And I think that's amazing. So like that is, I totally forgot about the commentary, the DVD commentary. That really is gold. That's really, really like, let's see. Oh yeah. So Kiss graduated. Sorry, I stayed corrected. Because I know there was like, since the pandemic, I wasn't sure. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, how to build a story is a big one. And I think Dan Harmon's huge on the hero's journey. You know, The Circle, Rick and Morty, from my Rick and Morty fans out there. I fucking love Rick and Morty. Just saying, sorry for my F-bomb, but I love Rick and Morty. I haven't even watched the season 5 trailer, so I'm not even going to start talking about Rick and Morty, but Dan Harmon is a really big advocate for the hero's journey. And you see the hero's journey in almost every single thing you watch, every TV show, every short film, every movie. The main character is going through this journey of, oh, they have a task, they don't want to do the task, and then they're like, yes, I accept the task, and then they get like help from friends, and then they accept their calling, and then they I think they come face to face with an enemy, and then they somehow achieve whatever goal they're trying to get. That was like a really like janky hero's journey, but hero's journey, definitely look into it. I'm telling you, it really, really is important for a story, because all the good stories that you see on screen follow that format for a reason. Like, because I mean, it appeals to like the human nature of a person, of a human being, the human nature. So the hero's journey, it's like, oh, there's a goal. Do I want to accept this calling or not? It's a whole thing. All right, I'm going to end it here, guys. I almost talked for an hour. I enjoy doing this. I'm glad you guys joined me. Be sure to check out my new website, beyondfilmschool.com. PA class is going to be online, I think, by tomorrow or the next day. I'm super anxious to launch this. So excited. The Odyssey something website. I don't know, Wesley. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I feel so bad. I'm not sure. Oh my goodness. I hope someone can help you out, because I don't know. PA class, beyondfilmschool.com. Editor's video is coming. Script supervisor video is coming. It's going to be very, very busy. And thank you all for joining me. I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much. I enjoy. Kit, thanks for joining me on this. This is amazing. And I feel like you're such a good resource. It's great. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.